thank you for all of you who came to listen to this session. How many of you have heard about Propy before? Okay, so 2-3 people have not heard of Propy. Well, thank you that you've heard of Propy already and you came here to learn more. Today we'll be talking about real estate tokenization at different use cases, those that we do at Propy, those that we're observing. And in the previous panels on the main stage, you probably have heard so many times the question, when are we getting to $1 trillion size in real-world assets, right? And I think the answer is to tokenize real estate. It's a $300 trillion market size. So if we start scaling the innovation that we have already introduced, then $1 trillion is reachable quite quick. So a little bit about myself. I've been a software engineer before I turned into real estate. I started to build homes in Bulgaria, a European Union country that entered the Union in 2007, and I started to build homes. Being born and raised in a Soviet Union country allowed me to understand the importance of property rights. We're all here in this space knowing that seizure-resistant assets like money are important for the future of our society, for the growth of economies, right? That's why we're united here. We're also united, I think, in this room. We're united by the thought that it's time for the crypto industry to bring real-life applications, useful applications. So I was very passionate about real estate since I was 19 years old, as I mentioned. In Bulgaria, I was developing communities. And my passion was not only to develop those real-life buildings, but actually communities where people can connect. And I observed how real estate, when done properly, can be the driver of the economic development in one country, which was in Bulgaria. It also taught me a very valuable asset. When I was selling all those thousands of properties cross-border in Bulgaria, a new country, for 15 years, I met all those international investors from Great Britain, the US, Dubai, that taught me the differences and similarities in real estate globally. And actually, real estate behaves as a digital asset. So, after doing this for 15 years, I decided to move to America and to launch Propy. In Silicon Valley, I met a number of software engineers in blockchain. I was lucky enough to get to those underground meetups under the bridges in San Francisco to learn about smart contracts. And it was the aha moment for me that that's a technology for the settlement of real estate. And that's where we started to talk a lot about different use cases. So here are the 3 use cases of tokenization in real estate. And after that, I will share which one is the winning one, which one is the bull one. First of all, you know, fractional ownership tokenization. We've been talking about it for years. It provides democratization, faster access, liquidity. Is anyone working on fractional ownership tokenization by chance? 2 people, fantastic. And we need more people fractionalizing, doing security tokens. These are security tokens, doing this job so globally we have more accessibility for different types of investors to this asset class. And I feel that every country will have a number of those platforms, so you can invest in different asset classes in real estate. The second one is escrow smart contracts and NFTs that I will dive a little bit deeper. I'm also here giving some examples who is executing on those. And finally, title registry, where we just push the government to put real estate ownership on chain, which of course, we don't have many examples where government was the driver of the innovation and major change. Why property rights are so important? There is a very famous book, The Mystery of Capital, by Hernando de Soto, written in 2000. Anybody have heard or read it? I think it's a seminal work after maybe the other favorite book of mine is Sovereign Individual, right? These are the 2 books that do not mention blockchain or crypto, And yet they explain the future of the society driven by cryptography, driven by the protocols we're all excited about. So the impact of what we're building here in real estate, and some of you who are building in real estate, is enormous. The real estate, if it's done properly in developing countries, they could be the driver of capitalism and democracy. And that's the thesis of the mystery of capital of this book. The other thesis is real estate is actually a digital asset. It's not the walls that we move when we change ownership. Real estate is not something that you can just take or steal. When you transfer ownership, you transfer a record somewhere. It's a social concept. And when done properly, it could be used for financing, it could be the underlying asset for small businesses, and drive the economy of those developing countries. But in order to achieve this impact, I strongly believe that first, we need to introduce the innovation in the United States. And then the United States to be the example for the developing countries to adopt the blockchain technology in real estate. And United States, you would think that they've figured it out, that it's one of the most transparent real estate market, transparent and liquid. But no, we have tons of issues in the United States. The affordability issue driven primarily by the complexities of the transaction. $25 billion. Every single year, Americans are paying for title insurance. So much money are lost in something that could be easily fixed with technology. So again, US home sales, every single year, 10% of home values are lost because of all those fragmented recording system, complexities, and so on. And consumers, of course, they want this app, click, and buy the asset. I moved to another city. I just want to click the asset, especially the new generation. I want to click a couple buttons and buy this home. I want to click a couple buttons and get a mortgage, or sell it, or borrow against it. It's coming. Just like Uber is here, Airbnb is here, there will be one app for real estate purchases. And that's my passion with Propy. That's what we want to achieve. And the time is now, 2024. We've been around since 2017. That's when we did the token sale. But we believe 2024 is the pivotal inflection point. Why? Of course, BlackRock has been mentioned hundreds of times today. And we all know that those asset managers, they also own real estate. And they ask those questions. How now we bring those assets on chain? What's the path? Also, we're seeing the real estate industry changing drastically in the United States with the NAR lawsuits for lower commissions. And finally, I believe infrastructure is ready and the consumer is ready. We don't have to explain anymore why blockchain is immutable and we have low fees on layer 2s. So what is Propy? Propy is the next generation real estate transaction agent powered by AI and blockchain. In America, we act as a licensed title and escrow company, which is a profitable machine, but also, and we tokenize the settlement itself. We use smart contracts to settle in transactions, and users of this service, they even don't know that we use blockchain. They notice that probably we use AI because it's very fast, and it's faster than a human that is reacting to closing. And the most fascinating aspect of tokenization is selling properties as NFTs. So we will dive into this use case right now because I believe this is the path of tokenization in real estate. This is where we have the most interest from institutional players right now. We've been in conversations with a number of those in America for the last 7 years, but now they are knocking on our doors. And in the end of the presentation, if we have time, we'll also have a little game, a little minting thing with a reward, so stay tuned. So what is a real estate NFT? Any guess? Do you think it's a security? Do you think it's a fractional ownership, non-security? Any guesses? So NFT in real estate that Propy has invented allows you to connect your wallet to see a real property, not a picture, to see a real property, inspection reports, agree to become an owner, transfer your money in USDC or ETH, and become the owner right away, the same moment, settled by smart contracts. And the way we do it is through creating an LLC that will record in the county. At that moment, it becomes DeFi composable. So now we can talk about $1 billion fund that is backed by, let's say, thousands of single-family homes introduced by NFTs. Then you can borrow against them, you could use them as a collateral, and these are not securities. So there is no complexity with SEC and other authorities. We've done $4 billion in transactions on blockchain in real estate. And this is a couple. You would think that maybe this product is only for crypto degens. No, this couple is an Airbnb investor that preferred to be on board on crypto within 1 day and to acquire this property rather than going through a 30 days of nightmare, of uncertainty, and a lot of paperwork. And what's beautiful about this innovation, that is scalable through our next invention. And our next invention is a loan on-chain. I will share a little bit more about it shortly. In order to scale this product, we've launched a new company called Propy and Coinbase collaboration, which means that you can mint any home in the world, get some rewards, play with it. It's almost like RWA Monopoly game, and then turn it into an NFT. Coinbase has been a fantastic partner, provided a huge exposure for us, and we were able to attract 200,000 users in just 3 months. 80,000 homes were actually minted by homeowners, so they own those properties. And these are about $10 billion worth in RWAs on-chain in just a couple of months. And that's where the interesting part comes, that look at this tier 1, 2, and 3. First, you just mint your address, and I want you to mint your address today. And in the end, there will be one winner that will receive $500 in Propy tokens. It will be the latest third mint from this room. So you can mint this address. It's normally $5 in Propy tokens, but I will give you a link for a free mint. You mint your address. You can do it privately or openly. You share your email so that we give you the reward. And that's it. You just own your home. It's cool. It's like domain name. But then the tier 2, you can upgrade it to a deed in your wallet. So you pay a little extra. You don't have to do it today. You pay a little extra, and then we extract your deed from the county in America and put it in your wallet. So now it's accessible, it's immutable. If something happens with the county, they constantly lose data. But the most interesting part is here, the number 3 tier. That's where the magic is happening, and that's the bull case of tokenization in real estate. Within 2 weeks after your payment, we can turn your property into an NFT that is, again, DeFi composable. And we can sell your property to our community of 200,000 people. And the new invention that we're introducing in 2 months is an instant loan. So imagine you decided to create an NFT from your home, and you decide, okay, I want to sell it. And when we promote it to our community, then they can apply for an instant loan. We would promote your property to a community that has Bitcoin or Ethereum. They can use this Bitcoin or Ethereum as collateral. Instant loan for 2 years with only 11% interest rate. And buy the home instantly. While Bitcoin or their Ethereum holding the collateral also generate the yield. This, of course, will allow us to scale within the crypto community. As you know, whenever there is a bull run, the majority of founders and investors in the space diversify and they buy real estate. In 2021, during the last bull run, there's an outstanding statistic. 10% of first home buyers in America bought a home and paid for down payment using crypto. Can you imagine the new generation? They all own Bitcoin, and they used to exit it during the bull run in order to buy real estate. So here is a small demo, mint an address. You would put your address here, click mint the address privately if you don't want to reveal your address on chain. And then next, and you own your address on chain. It's very simple, very straightforward. Now we'll get to the Q&A session. And during the Q&A, please mint your address on chain, and the third person on our DApp will get a $500,000 in Propy tokens. So join the movement of property rights on chain by the first simple, easy step. Minting your address, or your neighbors, or your parents, or your childhood home. Mint your address on chain, and the third person that did it today, within the next 10 minutes, will receive a reward, and we'll see who is the owner. While you're minting, we'll get some questions, and I just want to also wrap as the most attractive part of the NFT and tokenization this way is that it's not a security, and thus it's scalable, and that's the way to bring $30 trillion worth of real estate in America and $300 trillion globally. Now, let's take questions. Any questions? Yes? Sorry, yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead. You'd like to mint every address? Well, with this one, you get only 3 free mint. If you'd like to mint all 160 million addresses in America, that will be very expensive because we charge $5 in Propy tokens. But you, outside of the joke, you can mint any address in the world. But there is an incentive for you, the real owner, to come and put their deed on chain, because you will receive $50 for every real owner coming on board and proving that they are the real owner. We collect the name from the real owner, and because we are a licensed title and escrow company, we're able to verify the ownership. But that's a great question, and please, mint as many as you can.
Natalia, thank you very much for the presentation. It's wonderful. So what kind of confused me was the LLC part. So typically when you fractionalize an asset by building an LLC around it, you get a security, and then you're dependent on EthCC, you have to have transfer agents, you have to have broker dealers. How were you able to bypass this and make it available to like wide range of users like Russians and North Koreans? Can they buy this property, and then are you not affected by EthCC?
Yeah, fantastic. That's an amazing, great question. It has 2 parts of it. The first one is the security, the second is KYC. So the first part, it's not a security if the LLC representing one home is owned by one buyer and we're selling it to another buyer. We have to comply with real estate laws and RESPA laws, but not securities laws. Because if that was the case, half of the real estate investment purchases in America are actually done through LLCs already. And if it was the case, then the real estate agents would have to have been licensed as broker-dealer. But they're not, because real estate is not a security when we talk about one asset. But to your point, if we are selling to, let's say, 100 buyers, then immediately it's a security and we have to file with SEC, which is nothing wrong with that. That's a major misconception in the industry, saying, oh, we cannot fractionalize as real estate because these are securities, there is uncertainty. No, It's pretty straightforward. It's a security, file, launch, and get your users. And we're, in the recent 2 years, users are ready for those risk-adjusted returns. They want to buy fractional ownership, and they are okay to provide KYC information and buy those assets. By the way, I have invested out of curiosity in one real estate tokenized building in America. And last time I checked in December, I was surprised. It made 3x. I don't know how, but it was a 3x investment. Again, it wasn't a big one, but it's working. And the second question is KYC and AML. When we sell the property, the NFT, from one wallet to another, there is a friction in the transfer of the smart contract that the new buyer has to provide their name and their country. And then we run KYC, which is very quick 2-minute process, AML, KYC, and if they're eligible, then they can go further and acquire this NFT. If not, then they're excluded from the auction process. Okay, yeah? That's a great question, the price discovery and the appraising. For now, when we prepare a home for sale, we require third-party inspection reports and CMAs. So the local realtors that we have a huge network of certified, we call them crypto-certified agents, they estimate the current stage of the property. And that's for the current sale or the current loan. In order to make the asset fully liquid in a year or two, we will request for another appraisal. There is a major innovation happening in America with Freddie Mac waiving the appraisal process by accepting those 5 apps that use AI to capture the video and the photo of the property, estimating what's the condition, what are the appliances. So this is coming. Plus, we're partnering with Parcel. Have you heard of Parcel? That would help us to follow real-time price fluctuation in real estate in specific neighborhoods and towns. So let's say a property used to be $1 million worth, now the market dropped 3%, so we would adjust the 3% drop to this property particularly. But that's a great question. Yeah, that's many consider this as a major roadblock, but I don't think that's the one. Any other questions? Please mint the address. Can anyone from the team to check the D app, please? The third latest, not the latest, but the third latest. Let's see the address. Wait, we have one more person minting. Let's wait for about a minute. Refresh. Are you minting now? Anybody minting now that we need to wait? Let's play the real world asset monopoly game, real time. So the third property will share what's the city, and then we have the email of the winner, so we'll contact and send the Propy tokens in their wallet. The other part which I'd like to mention is in America, we are growing as a licensed title and escrow company. And we're servicing a lot of traditional closings for American home buyers, and they don't know that we use blockchain. But we know that the North Star is providing liquidity through tokenization. That's the North Star. And we believe that the major adoption would come from the consumers. That's why we're partnering with Coinbase. When there is enough people minting their homes, putting their deeds on chain, then there will be a push from the consumer that the final source of truth of their deeds and ownership is not the county recording system, because there are 3,000 of databases that are outdated, prone to fraud. But instead, it's the blockchain record. So we believe there will be a major push from the consumer, just like it's happening now with Bitcoin. It's the consumer, and now even the Wall Street, that are joining for the approval and legitimacy of Bitcoin as an asset class on chain. So the next one we believe will be real estate, Again, because it's a record somewhere. It's not the walls that we move. We move the ownership record, and it will come on chain inevitably. With Propy, folks here who are doing other things in Web 2 or Web 3 and real estate. Well, make sure to take a picture, mint the address, it's very fun. And then, of course, we're at the Real World Asset Conference. There is a real-life application that is happening towards the end of the journey. It starts very fun, but then eventually you can create an NFT, borrow against it, or buy another property, or sell it as an NFT instantly. With that, thank you so much. Thank you for your questions and participating. Bye-bye.